They say a baby can hear inside the womb. Laura's pregnancy, I put my mouth close to her belly and spoke to Adam inside her.
Were you in the delivery room when your son was born?
I was. He was crying and just crying when they handed him to me. And when I spoke to him, he stopped, opened his eyes, looked up at me. It was the sound of my voice. He recognized it. It's like we knew each other already.
And when did events begin to change for you and your family?
Adam was 8, just before his birthday. The day started at Adam's school. We were a little late.
We're gonna be late. You wanna fly? Ready for takeoff? All right, here we go. Oh! Oh! You got big. All right, here we go.
Almost about time to start, but I must thank the parents for their part in the play, voicing for their children while they're performing this play. And I want to thank all of the moms for making the costumes. Don't our kids look great? And a very special thank you to my dear husband for building the set for us. Excuse me, is it true that when the play is over, we get to go home early? No, it is, but it's not time for all that now. Go, you're about to go on. Okay, places, everybody.
Auntie M, it's heading right towards us.
Dorothy, get in the storm cellar now before it's too late.
Auntie M, where are you? Auntie M, where are you? Where are you?
Where am I?
Your house fell on the Wicked Witch and killed her. Now you're wearing her magic shoes.
I am going to the Great Oz to ask him if he can send me back home to Kansas.
And ask him if he can give me a heart.
And ask him to give me some brains.
Do you think the Great Oz could give me some courage?
Why don't you come with us and find out? You'd be so very welcome. Are you ready?
Let's go!
He's turning 8. Yeah, we're gonna have the party right here in our backyard. So I'm gonna need you in your full pirate regalia, you know, games, magic balloon animals, you name it. How much is that gonna cost me? You're kidding. How about for a couple of parrot hand puppet things? Something. Yeah, okay, all right, fine. And also, by the way, this is not your typical birthday party. Adam. Hold on a minute. Adam!
Hey, you're gonna be okay. The doctor's gonna make it all better.
So how did this happen?
Oh, he was chasing a balloon. I yelled out like an idiot, but...
Was Adam born deaf?
No, he was born hearing.
And when did it start to go?
A couple of years ago.
And he doesn't use a hearing aid?
Helping.
Ah, that must have required quite an adjustment.
Yeah, I've accepted it.
I meant him.
His mother is deaf. She teaches deaf children. Mommy taught you to sign, right? Yeah, Mommy gave me magic hands, yes.
What about his speech?
He doesn't speak anymore. I mean, he used to say stuff to me, but then when he went totally deaf, he just...
What's that?
It means he turned off his voice.
Okay, that should do it. You know, he may turn it back on if he could hear himself speak.
Well, we can't reverse what nature's done.
Well, sometimes we can. Have you ever heard of a cochlear implant? You do realize your son could hear sound again.
Excuse me? Not like a hearing child, but thanks.
Some sound and hearing is better than none, right? And if his heart were defective, you wouldn't question implanting an artificial valve.
Well, the deaf don't see themselves as defective. That's the point. I've been married to a deaf woman for 9 years. Nothing about her is defective. Trust me. Oh, you won! Good job.
All right, here's the Hudson Ear Institute. Dr. Flint, he could help you.
Thanks anyway.
It's just information. Information can't hurt you.
We don't want someone sticking wires in his head. It's not an option. No way. Okay. Don't worry. See you at home. Yep, Mommy. I'm driving.
As fast as I could.
He's taking a nap.
What did the doctor say?
No, he said he's fine. Normal kid.
Here you are, Mr. Donner.
That's quite a development. Thank you very much.
Rep. Harrison and Dean. He's not in the office today.
Mr. Donner, thank you for pushing the meeting. I'm sorry, something at home.
Nothing too serious, I hope.
No, nothing serious at all.
Well, while we were waiting, your lovely assistant was explaining this video phone to me.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? My wife and I can see each other and sign over the phone. She's deaf, and my son is deaf, too. So, have a seat. So, what did you think of our proposal?
Impressive. But I should warn you, our company's set in its ways.
Well, I don't want to change anything, but, to me, public relations is about perception. My job is to recognize what it is about you that makes you unique. Special.
I borrow Mr. Williams?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
I want you to meet my husband, Ray. Ray, this is Laura's father, Max.
I read your book on deaf culture. It's very good. I learned a lot.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Laura, you must be very proud of your father.
Oh, he means the world to me. I'm proud of you, too.
Is your mom here? She's having a ball.
Let me get to. My parents are here. Let me get them over. Mom, Dad, oh, you made it. Oh, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Oh, how was your flight?
The movie was good.
Pretzels are bad.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a birthday boy.
Darling. How
How you doing, Adam?
Happy birthday.
Big boy. You look great.
Where should I put that?
Another present.
Oh, my goodness.
you know.
Vesuvius erupt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, come on over. You remember the Scotts live across the street?
Yes, of course. How
My
are you?
parents?
Nice to see you.
I'll get you guys some drinks.
Priscilla, you?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Adam. Happy birthday to you. Wait. You have to make a wish. Tell me. Well, for what? What do I wish for? Wish for.
Great party, don't you think? Adam had such a good time. The cut on his knee didn't bother him a bit.
Yeah, chasing that balloon. That's all he was doing.
Oh, he's all right.
Yeah, well. What if next time he's chasing the balloon and it leads him out into traffic?
Deaf kids don't walk into traffic. You never see on the news, deaf child wanders aimlessly into traffic. It doesn't happen.
What if we were given the chance to change the direction of his life? The ER doctor, that we can actually choose.
Choose what?
Whether Adam should have a cochlear implant. The doctor said that Adam is a good candidate. The younger he is, the more effective the implant will be. He may still remember what things sound like.
I can't believe you'd even...
No, I told the doctor no.
Good.
Then I checked the internet. Implants now have a 16-channel sound. I mean, they're powered by a computer microchip.
Wait, are you actually considering this?
There's this doctor, Dr. Flint. Let's at least go see him. I mean, how can we make an intelligent decision if we don't have all the facts?
But we know all this already. You and I talked. We always agreed. Why are you suddenly...
Because what if our boy could hear again?
Adam's happy the way he is.
I know, but...
And you and I have always told Adam to love who he is. Now you want to tell him something's wrong with him? Why?
To maybe give him back one of the basic human senses that nature wants all of us to have.
But this is what nature wants. Nature did it. Being deaf is as natural to Adam and me as being hearing is to you.
Let's go meet this doctor, okay? Next week.
Friday.
Friday?
3:45.
You made an appointment without even asking?
These doctors are so busy. I mean, you have to grab them when you... What?
You're scaring me.
Don't be scared.
You've already made up your mind.
No, I'm keeping my mind open. Can you?
So, Ms. Kramer, why don't you tell the court a little about Pinewood?
Well, Pinewood has been there for 70 years. We are the only deaf elementary school in the county.
Please tell the court, Ms. Kramer, do any of the children at your school have a cochlear implant?
No. The policy at our school is that all our kids sign.
And when you see a child with an implant, how do you personally feel?
My heart breaks.
And why is that?
Well, 100 years ago, we would take deaf people and slice out the bottom of their tongues to loosen their tongues. We thought that it would make them speak like us. Today, they drill holes in their skulls.
Objection. Unwarranted comparison, Your Honor, and irrelevant to these proceedings.
I agree. Sustained.
Could you maybe clarify your point for the court, Ms. Kramer?
What I'm trying to say is, I am around deaf kids and their families every day at our school. We don't look at deafness as a handicap that needs to be corrected. Why do we feel this need to make them speak like us? They speak with their hands.
You're a deaf mother, Mrs. Parks.
Yes, I have a daughter. She's 7.
Wait a minute. You're deaf. I notice you're not utilizing the services of the sign language interpreter.
I don't need one. I can hear everything you're saying.
But how is that possible?
I have a cochlear implant.
Wow. And is your daughter deaf?
Yes, we got an implant 2 years ago.
As a deaf parent, was that a hard decision for you to make?
We are still a deaf family. We have a lot of deaf friends. We did get some pressure not to do it, but then I got mine and there was no question in my mind.
And you feel that giving your child an implant has improved the quality of her life?
She hears music, calls, she can talk to anybody anytime. She won't ever feel left out of anything anymore. It's a miracle.
Let me remind both parties, the purpose of these proceedings is not for the court to decide whether the minor should receive an implant. This is a custody hearing.
Well, Adam, tell Daddy how old you are today.
3.
3, that's right. Good boy. You're a big boy now.
Yeah.
Can you sing the alphabet song?
Yeah. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, Q, R, S.
Hey! Hey! Let's clean up the room, before Grandma sees it. Okay? All right. Here.
You ready?
Yeah, ready. Yeah.
Now mind Grandma Sally and go to bed when she tells you to. Daddy and I'll be home after the movie, okay?
Diamond in the sky, twinkle, twinkle.
glad you came in. It gives me a chance to say how sorry I am I had to lie to you.
So you see, Anna, I could never satisfy your need. And I know that you could never satisfy mine.
I will never try to again.
Hello, four of you.
Oh, that joke's so many.
I've never heard that. I've never heard you
I love the way they worked out the captions so that she can enjoy the movie more.
Oh, yeah, it's great now, yeah.
Oh, was it always that way, or?
No, actually, no, it wasn't. In fact, Laura, remember when we were first dating and we would go to the movies? This is before captions, right? So we would go to the movies, and to impress her, to show her how cool I was, right? I would scrunch down in my seat real low, like.
Here you go.
Yeah, thank you. And scrunch down in my seat real low, like this, and I would be frantically trying to secretly sign a whole movie, you know, without being seen. It was just right, you know. And remember that the one time that the usher came over because he thought you were having a seizure. Yes, it's true.
Smooth, Dan. Yeah. You're a real Don Juan.
Oh, yeah.
How could you even hold up a fork at dinner after signing an entire movie?
You should have seen him when we saw War and Peace.
You didn't know how to sign before you met Laura, did you?
No. But as soon as I laid eyes on her, I knew I wanted to speak her language.
What? I speak your language, I just don't understand what you're saying.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Ow.
Come here. It's our song.
Hey, you know what? There was an outfielder for the Cincinnati Reds. Threw out 3 runners at home plate all the way from the outfield in the same game. And he stole so many bases, he is still on the top 20 list of all time. Know what else was special about him? He was deaf. Only trouble was, he couldn't hear the umpire call out balls or strikes. Watch. Know what they did? Hand signals, sign language. And they still do it to this.
What did he say?
Nothing. He just stared at me like I was a raving lunatic. You should have seen me trying to order this latte. I said, yes, whipped cream. Whipped cream. Mom, have you ever had to stand up against Daddy? Tell him he's wrong?
There were a few times in our marriage when I wish I had.
When?
Oh, those are nice. That watch would look good on your father, don't you think?
Easy. Slow it down.
Am I throwing too hard? Sorry. You know what Grandpa said about hand signals is true. And when a player strikes out, the umpire also yells real loud, "You're out!" Good, but just try it. Use your voice. Just big and loud. Just, "You're out!" It's okay. Just use your voice. "You're out!"
There was a deaf pitcher for the New York Giants. Pitched 8 years, including the World Series.
And reminder, staff meeting tomorrow is moved to 11 o'clock. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Anything you want to talk about?
Well, hold on a sec, Kate. Hey, stop that. We're having dinner soon. Go wash up.
My pot roast is ready. Bye.
This competition thing with your father, it's gone too far.
Competition thing?
Your father, look, I respect what he's done with his life, but from the beginning, he has never accepted me.
No, he's accepted you.
No. He tolerates me, barely. His daughter marrying a hearing man, I just... Deaf pride, that's one thing. Deaf prejudice, that's another.
Not true. You're wrong.
Well, don't underestimate prejudice.
So ASL is just a kind of English, right?
American Sign Language is not English.
No? Isn't sign language just making English with your hands?
No, it is its own official language unto itself. The average hearing person has no idea how complex sign language can be.
Dr. Cannon, as a professor with a PhD in linguistics, would you agree that language creates culture?
It's the standard we use to define any culture around the world.
So, since ASL is an official language, does that mean that deafness is a culture?
Their language is their culture. Their sense of self as a people. Their history, traditions, dignity, power. All of it. It's all carried forward and lives in their hands.
Dr. Harvey, what does the future hold for Adam as a deaf child?
Well, according to the data available, the average deaf person in this country leaves high school reading at the level of a fourth grader.
Objection. Is counsel suggesting that deaf people can't read? That's absurd. The average hearing American graduates high school reading at the level of a fifth grader.
Your Honor, the data reflects the national average. Ms. Tate will have her opportunity to challenge these findings on cross-examination.
Take a seat, Miss Tate. Wait your turn.
What if Adam wants to go to college, get a degree?
He would need a sign language interpreter with him all the time in the classroom.
And if Adam somehow manages to get a deaf education, what kind of livelihood can he expect?
The average deaf adult earns far below the national standard. A large percentage of deaf adults receive government subsidies, disability insurance.
Wait a minute. How is it that a deaf person can accept a disability insurance check with one hand and yet claim they are not disabled but a culture with the other?
Objection. Misleading and grossly prejudicial.
Sustained.
I withdraw it. Dr. Harvey, as a professor of sociology, would you agree that when Adam Miller's hearing disappeared at age 4, so did many of his life's options and opportunities?
In my opinion, that would be a true statement, yes.
Thank you.
Hey, what's going on?
I thought maybe I could work from home, in the afternoons for a while. I told the office that I'd be working, half days.
Why?
To have time with you and with Adam.
Adam developed deafness, not cancer.
He's making appointments, making decisions, without even asking me. That's so not like us.
Ray will do the same thing sometimes. Men, they don't think it matters.
Dad and I always talk about everything together, especially about Adam. That's why I feel so, I don't know. Do you and Ray talk about everything?
Sometimes I think that Ray will talk to his best friend about things that he doesn't say to me.
Dan and I have always said, I married my best friend.
So, if that's the case, what are you gonna do?
I don't know. Hi. Do you remember sound?
Some things.
What do you remember? Do you miss hearing things? When you think of sound, do you wish you could hear things again?
I'm full. Done.
I wonder if maybe it would have been easier if he'd never heard sound before. If he'd been born deaf like me.
Easier? For whom?
I remember the first time I understood there was sound in the world. I was a little girl. My grandmother was hearing. She was outside sweeping the porch. And I remember that's when I realized that's sound. I'm supposed to know what's right for him.
You do know.
Do I?
Of your parents are hearing impaired? Oh, they're deaf. Well, you see, usually I... okay, my signing isn't what it used to be.
Oh, I'll interpret.
Thank you. You see, most of the parents I see about implants are hearing. 90% of deaf kids have hearing parents.
Well, when I was born deaf, my parents celebrated, especially my father. See, he's big on deaf pride and deaf culture. He even wrote a book about it. If he knew I was here, I know.
More and more deaf parents are getting implants for their children, if that helps you.
That makes me sad. Well, we're just here to get information, that's all. Tell me about the surgery.
Surgeon drills a hole through the skull into the chamber of the inner ear. And he inserts the electrodes through the hole into the cochlea. Takes 3 to 5 weeks for the incision to heal. And then there's an external transmitter that attaches by magnet.
Then he can hear?
Not yet.
Yeah, well, how long before he gets his hearing back?
You do understand that implants don't cure deafness. When he removes the device, he's still a deaf child.
So, what? Is he a deaf child who hears, or is he a hearing child who's deaf? No, he's our son. No, he's too young. He just turned 8. I know.
Actually, it's easier for a child whose brain is still developing to learn to process different sounds. We find that the younger the child is, the better the results we see. We've implanted kids as young as 12 months.
I'm trying to keep an open mind. I really am.
But that's why it's very important for both of you to understand what implants can and cannot do. Come with me. I want you to see something.
David, I'm going to put this on your ear. And then I'll start this. And if you hear anything, you tell me, okay?
I scheduled your appointment so you could see this.
See? It's the same. I'm going to activate the implant.
Now, the hearing aid only amplifies the sound, makes it louder. With an implant, 16 electrodes are surgically inserted into the inner ear. Okay? Now, that's the processor attached to his ear there. That sends the sound impulses to the implant, which turns them into electronic signals. And then they are sent directly to the brain. The whole thing runs on a rechargeable battery.
Are you ready? Okay, go ahead.
David? David? Is he hearing me?
It's okay, keep trying.
David? David?
Try again.
David?
David? David? Oh, darling.
Hey, can you hear me? Can he hear me?
Well, he can't tell it's your voice, but he is responding to the sound.
Now, it'll take some time to retrain Adam's brain to receive sound again. And then he'll need speech therapy.
Well, maybe at Adam's school we can...
Well, Adam would have to change schools.
School? Why?
Well, with an implant, he'll be going to a mainstream school to learn how to listen and speak.
What about his signing?
Oh, that would become his second language. And with time, Adam will be able to sign at home and speak in here in the outside world. Switch back and forth.
But he won't feel part of the hearing world because he'll never hear what the other kids hear. And he won't feel part of the deaf world because he'll never be totally deaf.
Well, I think you'll find that Adam will have the best of both worlds.
And what do you say? What do you say when Adam says, Daddy, why? Why are you doing this to me?
What,
is there something wrong with being deaf? I don't get it. Tell me, what are you going to tell him?
What do I say when he looks up at me and he says, you had the chance to get my hearing back and you did nothing? What do I say then? Oh, I know. Sorry, it wasn't politically correct.
Wait, you...
But folks, if you decide to go through with this, what we do is we assign a psychologist to your case. It's routine.
Well, Adam doesn't need a shrink.
Oh, no. This is to evaluate the two of you as a couple. This is a life choice that you're making for your family. For it to work, you both have to be in complete agreement.
And if we're not?
Then don't do it.
Star Command's Night Warrior. Come in, Night Warrior. Do you read me? Uh-oh! An alien creature! Blast him! Blast him! Blam! Blam! Hey, cut it out. He's an alien. He can play with us. Talks like this. Look at me, I'm dead. I'm dead. Stop it! Look at me, I'm dead. I'm dead. Can't you see? Stop it!
Mark! Stop that! Get off of him! What? Come here! What is going on? Come here. What has gotten into you?
He was making fun of Adam.
Oh,
say you're sorry, Todd. No. Say you're sorry.
I think that's a good idea. Say you're sorry. Todd.
How do you say, I'm sorry?
Todd.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to help the guys at the office with the King account. Can't seem to do anything without me.
So, you went through my briefcase?
Adam was drawing a picture. He likes those colored pens of yours.
Yes. We're set with a psychologist to be evaluated as a couple.
So, we are going ahead.
For now.
And when did we decide that?
I was gonna show you.
Oh, I see. Evaluation as a couple.
I adore Adam. He's my pride and joy. That's why I just don't understand.
You don't understand what?
What mother, if given the chance, would deny her child the ability to hear?
Mrs.
to
Miller, could
speak?
you wait until...
If it were my child, I would do anything to help him.
But isn't it true that if Adam were in this courtroom today, you, as his grandmother, would be unable to communicate with him? To tell him that you love him?
He knows that I love him. I tell him all the time.
But how? You don't speak the same language.
I hold him. I hug him. He sees it in my face. It's beyond words. It doesn't matter what language we speak.
No further questions.
Let me ask you this. If your own daughter, Laura, were hearing, would you love her any less?
Of course not. Mother loves her child no matter what.
So the fact that she is deaf is actually irrelevant, isn't it? And gives her no advantage, pro or con, as a mother. Isn't that what you're saying?
Objection, leading.
Seeking clarification, Your Honor.
I'll allow it. What I'm saying is, my daughter and I share a deep bond. We're both mothers. There is no word for it, no sign. It's a woman's love of her child. It connects Adam to Laura, her to me, all of us, all women, into a vast network, much more important than any internet.
What about Dan? Can't a man, a father, deaf or hearing, have the same connection with his child?
Dan is a wonderful father. I know that he loves Adam deeply, that they share a deep bond of their own. But I also know that there are many deaf people for whom the implant was not successful. Dan needs to know that with or without the implant, Adam will always be deaf, and he must never be denied his sign language.
What is deaf pride?
Dignity, self-respect.
Can someone who acquires deafness, is not born deaf, have deaf pride?
Well, no, it's not the same.
How so? Being born deaf gives you what?
A deeper understanding, appreciation of the deaf world.
So are you saying there are two worlds, one for the hearing, one for the deaf?
Yes.
But isn't it true that the only difference between a deaf and hearing person is that one hears and the other doesn't? Otherwise, they are entirely the same.
No, it's more than that. As I explained in my book, we are a minority in this country with a culture. And like other minorities, we have some painful history. Discrimination, prejudice, lack of opportunity. All we want is to be ourselves, be perceived as people, and to celebrate who we are.
But wouldn't life be easier for you if you could hear?
The majority always thinks each minority wants to be like them. Most hearing people think that a deaf person, if given the chance, would rather be hearing than deaf. Not true, not for me. I know who I am. I have my people, I have my language, I have my culture, my identity. Let me be. As my wife says, God made all of us different for a reason.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to all.
Daddy. Daddy.
Yes, what is it? Potatoes? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Daddy.
You're welcome. Ready.
When did that start? Adam speaking.
Stop it. What is going on? Something is wrong with you and Dan. What is it?
Dan, he and I think we should...
Are you two planning to separate?
No. Dan thinks we should explore the idea of getting Adam an implant.
No, Mom, we just finished. I wish you and Dad were here. You won't believe what... Wait a minute, hold on a second. It's Grandma. She wants to talk to you. Okay? All right. Use your voice. You sounded great, and it would make her very, very happy. So say... Hello, Grandma. Happy Thanksgiving. Okay? Here. No. Just use your voice. Please. Okay. He says, "Hi, Grandma. Happy Thanksgiving." Yeah. She says, Happy Thanksgiving to you, too. Did you eat a lot of turkey?
You would never stick an implant in our grandson.
You know that I love him the way he is. But I'm just so afraid. What if I'm holding him back in some way?
Holding him back? Has being deaf held me back?
No, of course not.
When I was his age, I was the only deaf kid in the entire town. I was made fun of. I was beat up. I was alone.
She knows.
Nobody ever signed to me. Nobody. My father told me to talk like he did. He'd tie my hands together and lock me in a closet to keep me from signing.
Yes, it was awful. She knows.
My father wanted my deafness to go away. Like these implants. Wipe us out. No more deaf.
She has to figure out what's best for her son. You can't force your experience on her.
You're a
I'm his mother first.
You are deaf first.
And Dan is still his father.
Dan is ashamed of his own son.
And wife?
Stop it, both of you.
Dan loves me from my heart, not my ears. I am Dan's wife, not his
I see
deaf wife.
different.
His wife. What do you see? That Dan doesn't love me anymore?
Dan thinks we're handicapped, disabled.
No, the truth is, you think that about yourself.
Come on, let's go.
You're a proud man and I love you. But you live too much with a capital D, deaf way or no way. You see yourself as a deaf man instead of just a man.
End of subject. Finished. You were born deaf. You have a responsibility to pass on our culture.
Born deaf. As if that made me more deaf.
It's time for all of this to stop. Tell her.
You...
You were born hearing. You were the most beautiful baby I had ever seen.
Is that true?
On the morning you were born, I walked home. Your mother held you, wrapped in a pink blanket. Stood behind you and we knew.
And you were disappointed.
I was upset. Said some things. Scared your mother.
I was relieved when your hearing finally went away.
Before then, you were very hard of hearing. Without hearing aids, you heard very little. A loud noise, a door slam, a siren.
A tea kettle.
What?
You never gave me hearing aids. Why? So you could say I was born deaf?
We did what we felt was best for our daughter.
You couldn't accept me as I was.
Is everyone mad at me?
No, nobody's mad at you. I'm very proud of you. Okay. This is the story of Pinocchio. All right. Once upon a time, there was a woodcutter. Now, he was very lonely. What this old man wanted more than anything in the world was a son. Instead, he only had a puppet. So, this lonely man pretended that the puppet was a real boy. So, you were born hearing? I saw.
That was a private conversation.
I was worried about you. Don't walk away from me. I love you, all right? I am not the big, bad hearing man.
Oh, deaf hearing. I'm sick of it. All of it.
Laura, Laura, look at me. Look at me.
No, leave me alone. Don't touch me. Everybody leave
Laura.
me alone. What's that?
A robot.
A robot? Mm-hmm. Good one.
Thanks.
Your father wants you to know that he loves you very much.
I know he does.
You have to understand that it isn't easy for him.
Mom, can I go out and play?
Mm-hmm. That's fine. Let me take a look. What do I do about Adam? About my husband?
When your father and I were first married...
Your marriage and mine, your era and mine, were worlds apart.
Perhaps.
I teach deaf kids. But I had never seen a child slowly go deaf over time until it happened to my son.
It happened to my daughter.
He would stand right here in this room and turn up the TV set louder and louder and still not hear it. And then look to me.
It can be heartbreaking.
Well, the deaf part of me said, "Don't worry, Adam, there's nothing wrong with you."
That's right.
But the mother part of me was saying, my little boy is scared and confused, and I can't help him. Well, maybe now I can.
You have choices today I never had to face. If you had a choice with me, what would you have done? You are what you are meant to be. You're a teacher. What is the lesson you want to give your son?
Excuse me, Dr. Walter, I can't get a... I was just saying, I can't get a... Oh, I'm sorry. You're deaf?
How do you
Oh, no one told me.
One partner in your marriage is deaf. That's why I've been assigned to your case. Please, have a seat. Do you want some coffee?
No, thank you. Being hard of hearing and deaf are two different things.
Yes. I think I heard that from somewhere. So, you were saying?
Yeah, I can't get a signal in this area for... my wife, has she called you yet?
No, she hasn't.
Well, she's late. I don't know where she is.
You're here.
Yes, I'm here. But I think the whole point was for you to assess Laura and me as a couple.
That's right.
Well, I hate to point out the obvious, but Laura's not here.
That's right.
And if she's not here, then she can't tell us how she feels about the implant.
I think she is telling us how she feels about the implant. I hate to point out the obvious. Is this typical of Laura? Not calling? Not showing up?
No.
Why is she doing it now?
I want to focus on Adam, not make this about her.
He's her son.
Yeah, well, he's my son, too. I mean, what am I? Am I the evil-hearing father because, I want my kid to, hear again?
No, of course not.
Thank you.
But you know what? Debating on the pros and cons of getting an implant is not my job. It doesn't interest me.
Oh. Well, what does interest you?
You. You interest me. Talk with your wife and we'll arrange another time.
I don't think I have any more time. May I ask you a question?
Of course. That's why I'm here.
When Laura and I got married, we wanted to have a baby. Real bad. I knew when Adam was conceived, it was beautiful. I knew we were making our baby.
That's a nice thing to remember.
No, it's not. Because when I was holding Laura in my arms, all I could think about was, please, make us a hearing baby.
It's late.
Adam's sleeping?
Yeah, he kept asking me, where's Daddy?
I met with the therapist today. We had that appointment, remember?
I was worried that something had happened.
Something did happen. Did you explain to Adam why Mommy not only didn't show up at her 3:45 appointment with the therapist and with Daddy, but didn't even call?
I tried calling. I tried texting. But it wouldn't send. It just said signal failure.
Well, I couldn't get a signal in that building, so...
So I tried to reach the receptionist. I typed a message, but stopped.
Mm-hmm.
The words I typed on my screen were there. Can you find my husband? Where have you gone? 1 plus 1 makes 2. I teach math, don't forget.
1 plus 1 makes 2?
Adam and I. If there's something wrong with Adam, then there's something wrong with me. And I don't know when that happened. When did that happen?
When did that happen? That I became disabled. To you. Disabled. Not able to, what, be your wife, your lover, carry on a conversation? What? What happened?
You can't have a conversation with anyone without me. Can you? Without me having to interpret everything for you. Back and forth, back and forth. God gave me a hearing son. And then he let me fall in love with him. And then he... God gave me a hearing son, and then he took him away from me. And now I see him sitting with you, just signing away, and I think to myself, no, it's not fair. He was mine.
He's ours.
I want my son back.
We were a family.
So much has happened since Adam's birthday. My wife and I are now here, legally separated. Your Honor, please, just give me my son.
Are you currently employed, Mr. Miller?
I work at Krupp, Harrison, and Dean. It's one of the biggest PR firms in the city.
And how does your salary compare to that of your wife?
I make more than 3 times her salary, and next year they're going to make me senior vice president.
Your Honor, submitted our financial statements of Mr. Miller's current holdings, as well as projection reports of future earnings. It includes the financial portfolio Mr. Miller has created to fund Adam's future care and education.
Does it also include the cost of getting a cochlear implant?
Objection.
Sustained, out of line. I'm warning you.
Mr. Miller, are you willing and able to undertake the financial responsibility of raising a child, as well as alimony payments to your wife, should your separation become final?
I'll provide Adam with whatever he needs and help Laura any way I can.
Mr. Miller, do you love your son?
More than anything in the world.
Does he seem any less to you now that he is deaf?
Absolutely not. He's my son. I want my son.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. No further questions?
Mr. Miller, if you retain custody of your son, will you give him a cochlear implant?
Objection. The question is hypothetical and ask the witness to theorize on future
Your
events.
Honor, the question is no more hypothetical than a report of projected earnings. Mr. Miller could lose his job tomorrow. The question is fundamental to the child's future under care of this witness.
I'll allow it, but remember, this is a custody hearing. It's not a legal debate about implants. The witness will answer.
Mr. Miller, I'll ask you again. If you receive custody of your son, will you give him a cochlear implant?
He'll never hear Mozart again, or the Beatles.
Yes or no?
Or Beethoven.
Beethoven was deaf, Mr.
Or
Miller.
the crack of a baseball bat in a major league ballpark.
Yes or no?
I want my son to hear those things. Yes, I would give him a cochlear implant.
So the truth is you don't accept your son for who he is, do you?
Of course I do.
Then why are you planning to have him surgically altered?
Objection. Inflammatory.
Sustained. Why the rush, Mr. Miller? Why not allow Adam the freedom of experiencing life as a deaf person? Then as an adult he can decide for himself.
The best time is now.
For him or for you?
A parent has to decide what's best for his child.
Yeah, but the child's mother is pleading with you not to do it. Is she not also the child's parent? She may be deaf, but she has a voice. Does she not, Mr. Miller?
I'm thinking of Adam's best interests.
But is it in Adam's best interest to surgically incise into his skull when the benefits are controversial and the long-term effects are unknown?
I want my son to be able to hear a smoke detector or a symphony, use a telephone, or hear someone yell, "Look out," or his grandmother say, "I love you." I mean, is that such a terrible thing?
Mr. Miller, nobody is saying
What am I
that's a
supposed
terrible...
to do? Keep him from hearing on purpose when I don't have to? Why would I do that? What kind of father would I be?
Your Honor, could you please...
I'm a teacher. I teach my students that deafness is not a disability.
All right.
That it's something to be
All right,
celebrated.
thank you, Mrs.
Wait,
Knox.
I've not stopped talking.
You answered the question, Mrs.
Your Honor, objection. The witness should be allowed to answer the question fully.
I will allow it. The witness will continue.
I teach them to accept their deafness, cherish it, revel in it. As his mother, I tell Adam to accept his deafness, that he is not disabled.
Your Honor, we've already
He is
established that
able to-
Adam is disabled.
You've made your point, Mr. Grisham.
He is able to do everything except hear. That his inability to hear has no effect on his ability to think, to achieve, to love.
Adam's ability to love is not in question here, Your Honor.
Let me hear her out, Mr. Grisham.
My job is to teach Adam to be himself, to thrive and grow up, to become a decent and kind man no matter what, to celebrate his difference, his uniqueness. Adam has already experienced one trauma, becoming deaf. I feel he shouldn't be put through another one. I believe what's best for Adam is to let him be. Let him be Adam. And that's why I must have custody of my son.
Let me remind both parties, once again, this is a custody hearing. The purpose of these proceedings is not for the court to decide whether the minor should receive an implant. That's a personal issue. I will deliberate over the weekend. This court will reconvene on Monday at 3 o'clock, at which time I will rule on the matter of the custody of the minor.
Leonard, what does this mean?
Exactly what she said. We have to wait till Monday.
Longest weekend of my life.
Still have the rest of the day. Go to work, Dan.
Do you think I have a chance?
You have a good chance. Have a nice weekend. See you Monday.
Yeah.
See you Monday, Miss Tate.
Yeah, see you then.
And I was thinking, I've been very happy at Hunter, Connor and Associates, so how do I know we won't regret a move? Dan?
What? Oh, no, I heard you.
Did you? Really?
Oh, no, I did. To me, public relations is about perception. My job is to recognize what it is about you that makes you, unique, special.
Look, I got a mustache.
Yes, I can see that.
See? I can shave just like Daddy. When is Daddy coming home?
Drink up. Time for bed.
I don't like Daddy not being here with us.
Neither do I.
I didn't know. My hands are shaking. My father used to tell me that life was shaped by choices. Everybody must decide what's best for them. Make their choice. And from the beginning, I said I only wanted what was best for Adam. That's not true. I really wanted what was best for me. And what's best for me is you. I miss my best friend.
I've been so afraid of losing my connection with my boy. And through all of this, all I wanted was to run to my best friend and talk, to share how scared I am, how hurt I felt, how confused I've been, how much I've been struggling. And the hardest part was not being able to. I want my best friend back. Adam wants, he needs both of us.
I don't think we need a judge to decide, to choose what's best for us.
Whatever choices we make together.